Somebody get me a bagel. I need a coffee. We're going to get started here in 30 seconds, everyone. We're excited to bring you some new information about what's going on out there in the world of UFOs, UAPs, and some, as we know it, are now American Foo Fighters. Today, myself, Tony O, and Mr. Michael Schratt, we're going to bring you some great information. But we're going to follow the breadcrumbs. We've got a lot to talk about today. The breadcrumbs are, in order to understand what's happening today and in the future here, we have to understand the past. So let's get ready to start the show. Stand by and let's get going here.
He's done with that. His time is up. He's walking out of the facility. They check his ID again, and he walks down the corridor. And then the security guard says, "Hey, wait a minute, come back here. What's that under your shoulder?" "It's my legal pad. I want to see that." So he hands this security guard his legal pad, and this guy, and I'm just setting up all this story. We're going to get into this with great detail, because I want to know too. You know?
Sure.
So he's paging through all these blank pages, and there's nothing there. There's nothing there. He forgot to go to the back cardboard bag.
Nice.
The security guard didn't go that far. So he hands it back to Danny. Danny walks out, and he got sketches of what these ET symbols look like. And that's what you see here on the bottom right. So we're going to continue on here. What did it look like? All right. So here is the beginning process here, and I want to walk everybody through this here. What you're looking at the bottom is Danny's napkin sketch that he made for us, Rudy and myself, at the restaurant. This is 3 months ago, because I wanted to get this down.
Wow, that's great.
What you're looking on the top is Rudy's real-time rough sketch trying to replicate from memory what Danny saw on the microfilm reels. So we're kind of vetting out the process. We're going to get everything fine-tuned here. Let's go to the next one. All right, so we'll rip through these really quick. What did the photograph look like? Okay, now, craft measured about 30 feet in diameter, was tipped up at a 30-degree angle. This was a winter scene. The craft had a dome on top. It had these strange symbols written along the bottom surface of the upper dome. When this thing augured in, it left a debris trail, and then off to the right, it had this built-up mound of dirt. But this is still a winter scene. Okay. Yeah. Photo depicted 4 men wearing winter parkas. They had still cameras. They had a dual reel motion picture film camera. This is one guy who had that. Now, I don't know when the photograph was taken, and I don't know where, and he doesn't know either, because there wasn't a date on this. That was my next question I wanted to ask. Where is this thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, I looked at the camera, the motion picture film camera, and I looked at it, period correct film camera. What was the date? The best I could come up with, Tony, 1948 to 1961. Okay. Those are my dates, and I believe I'm correct. So let's continue on here. So, again, all 4 men were wearing this kind of a jacket with the furry flange going around.
That would be military issued right there.
Yeah, you know, for a winter.
I would think.
Yeah,
for sure.
Something that looked like this. Okay, 3 of the guys had period correct still cameras, and they were snapping shots of this thing. So, you know, we talk about the congressional hearings. Where are the photographs? You know, we know where they were taken from off-site and brought to the James Madison Memorial Building. Where are they? Why weren't those put into the congressional hearing earlier this month?
Sure.
Why didn't they do it? We've got it here. Okay, let's continue on. A 4th man had a dual-reel, shoulder-mounted motion picture film camera, and he was documenting the whole thing. So it looks very similar to what you see on the screen here, minus the tripod, because he was holding this thing on his shoulder. All right, let's continue on here. These are the writings that what looked like on the bottom surface of the upper dome.
Well, that's really interesting.
Okay, so this is something that was wrapped around the outer circumference. Let's continue on here. A friend of mine cleaned these symbols up a little bit. These are what these things look like, and they were wrapped around the outer circumference of the lower portion of the upper dome.
What was exposed?
What was exposed? Yeah, the entire craft was exposed, but these were on the upper dome section. All right, let's continue. Now, I want to take everyone through the refining process now. So this was the very first pass sketches that Rudy did while Danny was sitting right next to us, okay, because we wanted to get this thing pinned down. I want to know what this thing looks like.
Yeah, sure.
You can see we've got the craft in place, we've got the mound, we've got the monuments in there, we've got the people in there, but this is all rough, right?
Right.
Okay, getting a little bit more refined here. We want to get the perspective correct, just getting everyone through, because I want to take people through the process here, because this took like 3 weeks to nail down.
From the drawings, it looks like the sport model.
A little bit like the sport model.
I'd have to say it at that time, if you're correct on possibly putting the dates on this style of UFO, I would think that could possibly be German made.
Yeah, you never know, right?
That's true. That's true.
I don't-
Because at that time, the Germans had about 12 vehicles designed, and they said they had a couple flying. So
I think it's important that we exhaust every possible terrestrial explanation before we jump on any type of ET
Yeah, I agree
type
with
thing.
you on
But
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
want to look at all
Absolutely.
options here. All right,
Yeah.
let's continue on here. Now, here's another preliminary sketch. This is basically head-on side view. Okay, side view. We've got the tip-up angle. We've got the people in place. Okay, now, when we went to this one, we were close. But the problem is, we got the orientation incorrect.
okay.
And it kept on hanging up here. We couldn't quite figure out what Danny was talking about. He's like, guys, you're doing a good job here, but you don't have the perspective correct. And then it finally dawned on me what he was talking about. We needed to take this entire view and rotate it at least 90 degrees. Like take the whole scene and rotate it 90 degrees, and then we're a lot closer to what he saw in that microfilm reel. We're getting closer now, so let's go to the next one. So we're starting the rotation now. We're basically head-on side view, but if we go a little bit further, you're going to end up with something that looks like this.
Wow, that's cool.
And now we're getting closer here.
Yeah,
okay? We're
that's
getting
cool.
closer because we've got the people in place, we've got the orientation in place. But if you look at the tip-up angle, this is like 45 degrees. We need to come down another 15 degrees so that we get to where we want to be. So when I sent this to Danny, he said, "Yes, guys, you're correct, but you need to bring this thing down a little bit." And so we came up with this.
Nice.
And this is our refined drawing, and I'm just submitting that this is about as close as we're going to get until we actually see the actual photograph.
So this whole what we're seeing right now comes from 3 images that Danny saw in
Yes.
1974
Yes.
in
1977.
77 in the Madison Building.
Yes.
And he only had access for what, an hour maybe?
I don't know the exact time frame, but it was certainly under 2 hours.
But he for sure said, "Look, this is in a vault. This is protected, and I've got eyes on it."
Yeah.
And he said, "This is real."
These are the absolute.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
These are, okay. So what you're looking at here is Rudy's refined drawing. So we've got the winter scene. We've got the 30-foot diameter dish-shaped craft. We've got the upper dome. We've got the hieroglyphic lettering. We've got the 4 people all in winter parkas. You can actually see the furry flange, the fringe of fur around the top part of their hoods. He said you could see that in the photograph. That you could actually see the furry part of their hoods. And then we've got the cameras and the motion picture film reel. However,